Whose
I said,
baby
"Get
is that?"
out.
he
I
asked
cannot
coldly.
believe you did this to me.
Yours,
Get out of my
she
house
whispered.
now.
Please, Obi, I'm 8 months pregnant. She fell to her knees, hands trembling, belly swollen. He stood over her, cold, unmoved. That's not my problem anymore. The guards grabbed her arms. She screamed his name. He didn't turn around. Not once. Obi Okoro was a man who built empires. He was the richest man in Lagos, and tonight, he was about to inherit the final piece. His father's will, the family fortune, everything. But his life was going to shatter tonight. He stood in the marble hallway of his Victoria Island mansion, adjusting his cufflinks. His wife, Adaeze, stood behind him, 8 months pregnant, her belly swollen, her ankles aching. She held the edge of the dining table for balance. "Obi," she said softly, "the baby kicked again today." He didn't turn. "I have a meeting. It's almost midnight. Business doesn't sleep a days." She bit her lip. "Will you at least touch my belly? Just once?" He froze. Then he looked at her. Not with love. With something cold. Something distant. "I'll be back late." And just like that, he walked out. The lawyer's office smelled of old wood and wealth. Obi sat across from Mr. Adeleke, the family attorney. "Your father's will is very clear," Mr. Adeleke said, flipping through documents. "You inherit everything on one condition." Obi leaned forward. "What condition?" "You must remain married to a woman of your father's choosing." Obi's jaw tightened. "I'm already married." Mr. Adeleke looked up, eyes sharp. Not to her. Silence. Heavy, crushing silence. Then Mr. Adeleke slid a photograph across the table. A beautiful woman. Lighter skin, sharper features, polished smile. "This is Zara, daughter of the Okonkwo family. Your father arranged this union before he died." Obi stared at the photo. "And if I refuse?" "You lose everything. The companies, the properties, the offshore accounts, all of it goes to your cousin." Obi sat back in his chair. His mind raced. He thought of Adaeze. Sweet, simple Adaeze. The village girl he'd married 5 years ago when he had nothing. She had believed in him when no one else did. She had scrubbed floors while he built his first business. She had prayed for him every night. And now she was the obstacle. He came home at 3 a.m. The house was dark. Adaeze was asleep on the couch, one hand resting on her belly. She had waited for him. Again. Obi stood in the doorway, watching her. For a moment, something stirred in his chest. Guilt? Regret? But then he thought of the will, the billions, the power, the legacy, and that feeling died. He walked past her without waking her. The next morning, Adaeze woke to voices. Loud voices. She shuffled into the living room, confused. Obi stood near the window. And beside him, a woman. Tall, elegant, draped in designer silk. Zara. Adaeze froze. "Obi? Who is this?" Obi didn't look at her. "This is Zara, my fiancée." The word hit like a slap. "You're... what?" Zara smiled, stepping forward. "Oh, you must be the help. Could you bring us some tea?" Adaeze's hands trembled. "I'm not the help. I'm his wife." Zara laughed, light and cruel. "Wife? Obi, you didn't tell me you had a situation to clean up?" Obi finally turned. His face was stone. "Adaeze, pack your things." Her world tilted. "What?" "I said pack your things. You're leaving." Tears filled her eyes. "Obi, I'm 8 months pregnant. With your child." He looked at her belly, then back at her face. "That's not my problem anymore." Adaeze fell to her knees. Please don't do this. I have nowhere to go." Zara sipped her tea, bored. Obi walked to the door, opened it. Security will escort you out. Obi, don't make this harder than it needs to be. 2 guards entered. They lifted Adeze gently but firmly. She screamed. She begged. She called his name over and over, but Obi Okoro didn't turn around. He stood with his back to her, fists clenched, jaw tight. And as the door slammed shut, Adeze's voice echoed in the hallway. You'll regret this, Obi. One day, you'll see what you threw away. But he didn't believe her. Not yet. What will happen to Adeze and her unborn child?
Rain poured like bullets on the streets of Lagos. Adeze stumbled through Oshodi Market, drenched, shivering. Her small bag clutched to her chest. No money, no phone, no shelter. Just her belly, tight and heavy, and the clothes on her back. People rushed past her, umbrellas up, faces hidden. No one stopped. No one cared. She leaned against a concrete wall, gasping for air. Her feet were swollen, her vision blurred. Please, she whispered to a woman selling oranges. Please, I need help. The woman looked her up and down, then turned away. Move along, I'm working. Adeze's knees buckled. She slid down the wall, sitting in a puddle, head in her hands. And for the first time since she was thrown out, she let herself cry. Deep, choking sobs. The kind that come from a broken soul. Are you all right? A voice, soft, raspy. Adeze looked up. An old man stood before her. Thin, bent, wearing a torn shirt and trousers held up with rope. His face was weathered, but his eyes were kind. I'm fine, she lied, wiping her face. He crouched down, joints creaking. You don't look fine. She tried to stand, but pain shot through her belly. She gasped, gripping her stomach. The old man's expression changed. When is the baby due? 2 weeks, she whispered. He nodded slowly. Then, without a word, he took off his jacket, tattered and stained, and draped it over her shoulders. Come, you can't stay here. I don't have money. I didn't ask for money. He led her through winding alleys, past zinc fences and open gutters. They arrived at a small shack made of wood and metal sheets. Inside it was cramped but clean. A single mat on the floor, a kerosene lamp, a pot on a tiny stove. Sit, he said gently. She sat, exhausted. He boiled water, made her tea with 1 sugar cube. She drank it slowly, hands shaking. What's your name? He asked. Adeze. I'm Papa Chike. He smiled. But everyone calls me old man. She tried to smile back, but tears came instead. Why are you helping me? He stirred his own tea, eyes distant. Because once I had a daughter, and no one helped her when she needed it most. Adeze's heart clenched. Where's she now? Gone, he said quietly. Long gone. They sat in silence. The rain drummed on the roof, and for the first time in days, Adeze felt safe. Meanwhile, across the city, Obi Okoro stood in his new office. Floor-to-ceiling windows, leather chairs, gold fixtures, everything he'd ever wanted. Zara walked in, heels clicking. Darling, the wedding planner is here. Obi nodded absently. She kissed his cheek. You're quiet, still thinking about her. No. Good. She was a distraction. Now you have me. She smiled. And the fortune. Obi looked out at the Lagos skyline. Lights glittering. Power humming. But something gnawed at him. Something he couldn't name. He pushed it down. Let's get this wedding done. Back in the shack. Adeze woke in the middle of the night. Sharp pain. She gasped, clutching her belly. Papa Chike. He bolted upright. What's wrong? The baby. It's coming. His eyes widened. Now! Now! He grabbed a cloth, boiled water, his hands shaking. We need a hospital. No money, she panted. No time. He knelt beside her. Then we do this here. Together. Hours passed. Pain. Sweat. Screaming. Papa Chike held her hand, prayed under his breath. And then, a cry. Tiny, fierce, full of life. Adiz collapsed, tears streaming. Papa Chike wrapped the baby in a clean cloth. "It's a girl," he whispered, voice thick with emotion. He placed the baby on Adiz's chest. She looked down at her daughter. Perfect, small, beautiful. "Her name is Chidinma," Adiz whispered. "God is good." Papa Chike smiled through his tears. "Yes, God is good." But miles away, Obi Okoro stood at his wedding reception, champagne in hand, cameras flashing, Zara on his arm, everyone congratulating him. And yet, he felt nothing, just emptiness, cold, hollow emptiness. He excused himself, stepped onto the balcony, pulled out his phone, scrolled, and there, a single photo, Adiz, smiling, pregnant, taken months ago. He stared at it. His thumb hovered over the delete button, but he couldn't. He just couldn't. What will Obi do when he learns the truth? 6 years passed. 6 long, brutal, beautiful years. Adiz worked 3 jobs. Laundry in the morning, food vendor at noon, night cleaner at a hotel. Her hands were rough. Her back ached. But her daughter, Chidinma, was thriving, bright, curious, full of laughter. She attended a small school near the market. Every evening, she'd run to Adiz, uniform dusty, smile wide. "Mama, I got a star today." And Adiz would hold her close, kiss her forehead. "You're my star." Papa Chike was still with them. Older now, slower. But he helped. He walked Chidinma to school. He told her stories. He was a grandfather she never had. And Adiz, she never spoke of Obi, never said his name. Chidinma didn't ask. She didn't know. But Obi's life had changed too, not for the better. Zara had given him a son, a heir, but no peace. She spent his money like water. Parties, trips, designer, everything. She barely looked at their son. Nannies raised him. And Obi, he drowned himself in work. Meetings, deals, expansions. Anything to avoid going home. One night his assistant knocked. "Sir, there's an issue with the Lekki project." "What issue?" "The land. There's a dispute. A woman claims we displaced her illegally." Obi sighed. "Handle it." "She's requesting a meeting. With you." "Fine. Tomorrow, 10 a.m. The next morning, Obi sat in his conference room. Cold coffee. Expensive suit. Tired eyes. The door opened. A woman walked in. Thin, worn, but standing tall. She wore a simple dress. Her eyes met his. And the world stopped. It was Adiz. Obi's heart slammed against his ribs. He stood, frozen. "Adiz." She didn't smile, didn't cry, just looked at him. "Mr. Okoro," she said coolly. The formality cut deep. "What are you doing here?" "I live on that land. The one you're trying to take." He blinked. You live there?" "For 6 years." Silence. Heavy, suffocating. His lawyer cleared his throat. "Ms. Adiz, we've offered compensation." "I don't want compensation. I want my home." Obi stepped forward. "Adiz, we need to talk. Alone." She shook her head. "There's nothing to say." "Please." Something in his voice made her pause. She nodded. The room emptied. They stood facing each other. 6 years of silence between them. "You look different," he said quietly. "I had to survive." "I'm sorry." She laughed bitterly. "Sorry? You threw me out, pregnant, in the rain." "I know. You chose money over me, over our child." His breath caught. "Our child." "Yes, a daughter, 6 years old." Obi's legs nearly gave out. "A daughter. Her name is Chidinma, and she's everything you'll never be." Tears filled his eyes. "I want to meet her." "No. Adiz, please." "You had your chance. You walked away." She turned to leave. "I was wrong," he shouted. She stopped. "I was wrong, Adiz. Every day since, I've been wrong. I see your face in every room. I hear your voice in every silence. I lost everything that mattered." She turned slowly. You didn't lose it. You threw it away. Then let me earn it back. How? He dropped to his knees, in his $1,000 suit, on his polished marble floor. I'll do anything. Anything. Adiz stared down at him. The man who broke her. The man who gave her Chidinma. The man she once loved. You want to earn it back? Yes. Then start by leaving my home alone. She walked out. Obi stayed on his knees. Broken. But outside the building, a black car pulled up. Zara stepped out, designer sunglasses, phone in hand. She'd heard everything through Obi's assistant, and she was furious. So, she whispered to herself, venom in her voice. He has a daughter. She smiled. A cold, dangerous smile. We'll see about that. What will Zara do now that she knows the truth? Chidinma was drawing under a tree when the black car arrived. She looked up, curious. A woman stepped out. Tall, beautiful, wearing red. Hello, little one, Zara said sweetly. Chidinma smiled shyly. Hello. What's your name? Chidinma? Zara crouched down, eyes sharp. That's a beautiful name. Do you go to school? Yes, just down the road. And your father? Where is he? Chidinma's smile faded. I don't have a father. Zara tilted her head. Everyone has a father, darling. Not me. Before Zara could say more, Adiz's voice rang out. Chidinma? She ran toward them, panic in her eyes. Zara stood, smiled coldly. You must be the mother. Who are you? I'm Zara, Obi's wife. Adiz's blood ran cold. Get away from my daughter. Zara laughed. Relax. I just want to see the child causing so much trouble. Leave. Now. Zara leaned in close, voice low. You think you can come back into his life? You're nothing. A beggar. And your daughter? She glanced at Chidinma. She'll never be anything more. Adiz's hand trembled, but she didn't move. My daughter is worth more than you'll ever be. Zara's smile vanished. We'll see. She walked back to her car, heels clicking. The door slammed. The car drove off. Adiz pulled Chidinma close, heart racing. That night, Obi sat alone in his study, a glass of whiskey untouched, a photo in his hand. It was old, him and Adiz, years ago, before the money, before the greed, when they were happy. He traced her face with his thumb. I'm so sorry, he whispered. Then his phone buzzed. A message from an unknown number. A photo. Chidinma, playing, smiling, and below it a caption. Beautiful daughter. It would be a shame if something happened to her. Obi's heart stopped. He called the number. No answer. He tried again. Nothing. He smashed the glass against the wall. No. He raced to Oshidi, through traffic, through rain. He found Papachike first. Where is she? Who? Adiz. Where is she? Papachike pointed toward the shack. Obi ran. He burst through the door. Adiz stood, startled. Chidinma hid behind her. Obi, what? He held up his phone, showed her the message. Her face went pale. Who sent this? I don't know, but I think, he stopped. I think it's Zara. Adiz's hands shook. She was here today. What? She came. She talked to Chidinma. Obi's rage exploded. She did what? He turned to leave. Adiz grabbed his arm. Where are you going? To end this. No, you'll make it worse. I don't care. Obi, stop. He froze. She stepped closer. If you want to protect her, really protect her, then you stay. Here, with us. Obi looked at Chidinma. She stared at him with wide, questioning eyes. Who are you? She asked softly. Obi's voice broke. I'm your father. Chidinma blinked. Then quietly, where were you? The question shattered him. He knelt down. I was lost, but I'm here now, and I'm never leaving again. Chidinma looked at her mother. Adiz nodded, tears streaming. Chidinma stepped forward. Slowly, she touched Obi's face. You look sad. He smiled through tears. I was, but not anymore. Outside, Zara sat in her car, watching, seething. Her phone buzzed. A message from her lawyer. Divorce papers ready. Just say the word. She smiled. Type back. Send them. Let's take everything. But she didn't know. Obi had already made a decision. He was done playing by her rules. He was done playing at all. He was going to fight. Not with money. Not with power. But with something he'd forgotten. Love. And somewhere in that small shack, a family began to heal. Slowly. Painfully. But together. But what happened to Zara? Did Obi lose everything? Or did love win? Drop your thoughts below. And subscribe, because the story isn't over yet.